So this is being streamed on the Oklahoma City MedWeek Facebook. So this is Oklahoma City Minority Enterprise Development Week as well. And so part of this week is just celebrating and highlighting minority entrepreneurs and business owners in the community. We have two speakers today who went through two of our new programs, our new accelerators in Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma City Minority Founders Accelerator, as well as the Latino Business Accelerator with our partners from Northeast Oklahoma City Renaissance, I2E, Stitch Crew. So we have a lot of great people who are helping to uplift the voices of underserved founders. This week is also important in uplifting the voices of female founders, non-binary founders, veterans, those with disabilities, and women, because a lot of times we do see the same faces doing a lot of presentations for new businesses, so we want to make sure that we're always showing the awesome things that are happening. I would like to call Elizabeth up here really quick. Elizabeth is our taco sponsor, which is a first for us.
Shout out to Generator, that's who paid for it, and then Lupita's is who made it. So if you don't know about Lupita's, they are in Capitol Hill on Robinson and 26th Street. So please stop by there. They have fresh tortillas every day, and then of course they have the tacos, breakfast and lunch, and dinner. They close at 6, so they can feed you all day. Stop by.
So yes, you for sure want to check out Lupita's, mostly during the holidays. If any of you want to attempt to make tamales, go get your masa there so that you can do that at your house. So we also have a number of different members of our organizers team. So Elizabeth is on our organizers team. Sergita, where did she go? Oh, right. She's taco bar. Myself, Susan Mooring, and Kara Evans, who are in Tulsa today because Oklahoma Venture Forum is in Tulsa for their luncheon. But we have a team of people that want to just make sure that we're helping to have this 1 Million Cups meetup monthly. The goal of this through the Kauffman Foundation is to elevate the voices of entrepreneurs getting started. And as a community with 1 Million Cups, we can help to support entrepreneurs in their journey to be successful businesses throughout the year. So I will stop talking now. We now have two members of the NASH engineered fashion team who went through the Latino Business Accelerator. They're located here in Oklahoma City, and I'll let them get started. For those of you who aren't aware, the format is about 6 to 8 minutes of presentation. Then we open it up for Q&A so that you all can provide either feedback, you can ask questions, you can get to know more about the businesses, and then we always end it with what can we do to help them. So here you go. Oh, you're good.
Hi, everybody.
Yay. We all have tacos in our hands, so it wasn't a loud clap.
Oh, sorry. No worries. We're NASH Engineered Fashion. We're a Latino and women-owned business. We make all of our clothing in-house. Basically, what we do is active streetwear, which is a mix of urban style with activewear. Kind of like came naturally when me and her started collaborating. My name is Juan. I'm originally from Colombia. I've been in OKC for like 3 years now, and this is my wife, Tamara.
Hi there. I'm Tamara. I am from Oklahoma City, so born and raised.
So we combine these two styles to like bring active streetwear is what we call it. Kind of like a unique style. We, like I said before, we make all of our garments in-house. So in our store, we have our studio where we like literally cut and sew all of our products, at least the clothing. Then we have a main focus in inclusivity. Her younger brother has Down syndrome, and like back from like a project that she did with him, we collaborate with him into putting his artwork into our clothing, basically. Through this like project, we want to raise awareness and kind of like raise that question of why are people like Trafford not included in the process of creating. Basically, you know, you see brands and other companies doing stuff for them, which is like awesome, but you rarely see them actually like being included in the process of creating whatever it is that you're trying to show, sell, whatever, like treat them like real artists, basically. So that's our main mission behind that. But yeah.
Oh, goodness. All right, so I guess talking a little bit about where NASH started, I can go pretty quickly over this, and if anybody has questions, I can always circle back around. But Nash is actually a family last name of mine. My great-great-grandfather, Lewis H. Nash, he's up there. He was an inventor and engineer in the early 1900s, and he invented something called the liquid ring vacuum pump. You can kind of see some of his schematic drawings, patent documents and stuff, and so that always really inspired me. Everyone in my family except for me is an engineer. So I always kind of felt like the black sheep, and going into art school in my senior year, studying fashion design, I really wanted to do a collection that kind of proved to people that engineering is in fashion, and that the arts and the engineers should, you know, collaborate more. So that's kind of going forward, just a few images of what my senior collection was. I wanted it to be sporty. It's kind of what we do in-house right now, just a little more ready-to-wear versions than this. I really wanted to play with kind of inventing and proving that you can embed technology into garments and that it is very technological. So I had a turn signal built into a puffer. I made my own waterproof textile just for fun. There's a little video of that. And so, yeah, that's kind of where the brand started. I had a job lined out in New York City, but it was 2020. So unfortunately, I didn't get to move to New York, and I ended up ordering a bunch of industrial machines to my parents' house and started just kind of from there. And really, after that, Juan joined on. At the time, he was just my boyfriend, and he had moved back to my parents' house with me. And I was just a designer. I'm not really an entrepreneur, and I didn't really know what direction to take it. And that's whenever Juan kind of jumped in and really is what made NASH, I think.
So basically, I studied motion graphics, which is, you know, they literally tell me not to explain it like this, but it's a mix of graphic design and animation. That's like putting it simple. We learn a lot about marketing, branding, how to build like brands and how to sell those brands to people, basically. When she was coming with this like ideas and stuff, I was like, oh, this would be cool. Like if you and I collaborated, made it into like a brand. So a whole summer, Tamara took that, was it 20? That was like the first summer of COVID. She took that whole time to like create our product, basically, kind of like perfect the patterns, the sewing, like specifically what are we selling. And then I took that time to build the brand, basically the website, the Instagram, how we're gonna sell it to people, what are we gonna say, what's our mission, all this stuff, kind of like putting it together so we can like show it to the public. We started in her parents' upstairs. If anything, there's one stage before this where it was inside of her room. We moved her, she had like a big closet, so we literally put a bed in the closet. And then the main room was our studio, basically, where we had the machines, the cutting table. Then at some point that was like too small for us, so we asked her parents if we could move into like this playroom they had. So we moved the studio there, so that was kind of like our first official NASH studio. When we launched it, we were doing everything online. Only like friends and family were like shopping from us at that time. Eventually, we were reached out by Tiffany Gwen. She owns Avari.
Yeah, Avari.
It's a bridal boutique. She reached out to us and she was like, "Hey guys, there's like this new space being available in Midtown and stuff, and they're called the Make Ready buildings. They're owned by Midtown Renaissance, and she just offered that. At the moment, we didn't have even like the money or the plan to like really move out into a studio and like keep that up, but it felt right, so we just did it, and we went for it. We like, you know, with our own money paid like the first rent and stuff, and then here's when we started like going to markets. You know, this is where we first were exposed to like OKC as like our customer. Like I said before, everything that was being bought was just friends and family. That's how it like starts, I guess. But this is the place where we first like kind of started thinking more into like, is this just like a COVID project, or are we gonna like turn it into something more serious? That's kind of where it like turned. It was like the first turn. So lots of markets, everything online still. But then as time goes on, you know, we go through all these markets. We get more like customer recognizing us, people coming into the space, which was kind of weird because it was just our studio. So when people come in, they came in and it was like they didn't have anything to look at other than us working. Which was cool. We still invited people over because we like to share our process. At the end of the day, that's also like a lot of our like mission behind the brand is to be transparent. There's a lot of like gatekeeping in the fashion industry for a lot of reasons, but we believe that it's okay to have some transparency to show you guys who's making it, how we're making it, kind of like connect you back to where your clothing is coming from. But yeah, naturally, the space in 11 and Walker, the laboratory shoe store used to be there. It became available, and that was like the first time that we definitely thought like, okay, like I felt like we were ready for a store, like having people come in, like, you know, we saw the people coming into our studio, which was weird. We were like, why don't we present people with like clothes? So it just felt good to like move into a good retail space basically. And this was our first, well, it's our first actual retail spot. So you can see in this photo, we still wanted to, a lot of it was like out of convenience, but we still wanted to show people our process. So half of our studio was still the studio, and the other half was the store. For a while, we thought it was going to be like a cool concept, something fresh. You know, people would come into the store to shop, and they get to see the process being made. But for some reason, and as time went on, it like didn't work out too well. I guess I don't know if OKC was not ready for the concept. It just kind of like still scared people. Like that problem we were having where people come in and they were like, oh, sorry, I thought it was a store. That kept happening. People got scared of the machines. A lot of people thought it was decoration only, or like, it was just not working for some reason. If anything, people would make it to the doorstep and leave a lot. We didn't know why, you know. At that time, I was going through Stitch Crew. That's when I was first introduced to Stitch Crew and was going through a program. And there I learned like a lot about eliminating things and kind of like focusing where the revenue is coming from, how to delegate, like all this stuff. I was learning all this stuff from the program that was so useful. That made us realize kind of like the pivot that we needed. So we basically had to take the decision of moving out of the studio to the back of the store. So we pulled, I don't have a photo, but in this area you can see a wall. We like cover the whole back of it, and then we moved the studio in the back, and then we made our main floor like our retail space. I feel like that was like a really good move for us. It's been like translating to sales, you know, people feel more welcome. The store is completely renewed. We like repainted it, redecorated. Then a whole like moves to me like in a way more inviting to like people. I guess another thing I learned during Stitch Crew was that something that we pride on, and it's kind of like what's made us go this far, is the fact that we're really good at pivoting and like kind of finding what the industry is missing or what can we do better to like, you know, just better the industry itself. And at first, like one of those things was customs we used to do where like you literally come into a store and you can ask for anything you want and we'll make it for a high price. But eventually, like, we were finding that high price, even though it was a high price, it was still not worth going through 3 weeks, a month of like creating just one garment and selling it for that price. At some point, it was not valuable for us. So sadly, we had to cut customs. We don't want to cut it forever. It's a concept that we want to keep on like working at some point. But like that was something that we went through. We thought it would be really cool. You know, you don't see that in OKC, so you can literally walk in and have whatever you want made. But you know, that happened, so we took it back, kind of like slowly focusing where our revenue is coming from and kind of like maximizing those like areas. For example, our racks was like the best source of revenue we had. So what we did was like fully make our space into a store, and we actually started like 2 months ago selling products from other like artists and stuff. We got in this website where you can find artists from the US and other countries, and then we started like kind of matching what we thought goes well with NASH and stuff, and we now start selling those in the store just to kind of like maximize that rack sales and stuff. We also did scraps for a while. We tried, you know, I don't know if you guys know, but fashion is the second most polluting industry in the world. So it's something we still do. We haven't stopped doing it, but for a while we really focus on reusing all of the scraps that we create from garments that we make. And a lot of times, for example, I think this one right here, that t-shirt and that neon tank top on that rack, this all made from scraps from other projects. And you know, we're just trying to like reduce how much waste we create per se, like at least NASH. You know, we're not gonna stop the industry from wasting, but we like try that for a while and kind of focus on that with something that now we kind of do on the side. We don't want to stop doing it, but it's not like our focus is not just to be a scrap store, basically, you know. Well, that's kind of like timeline and kind of like the things of how NASH started, what we do, and what we became. I think, yeah, I can see some more of our products once we opened. For a while, it was really hard to let go of that. Like, we make it all, you know what I'm saying? Like, we make all the clothing, and that was like prideful for us. And opening up to having products that was made for someone else, that was hard for us. But we knew that it had to happen.
We even had people that would come in, and I'm like, no one's gonna know. Every other store, no, they don't make it in-house. And we'd have people come in and be like, did you make these sunglasses? And I'm like, I was like, guys, way to rub it in. Like, ouch. No, I did not.
I did not, yeah. But it was definitely a good move. You know, it kind of opened ourselves to new opportunities, new people, new ideas too. Eventually, we would love to like be able to like make it all. But of course, it's kind of like, I guess I'm just sharing that it was really hard to let go of that control of like your product. But we did it and it worked out. You know, it translated a lot into our sales. And people love it. And you know, Tamara, like, she did a great job of matching a lot of the aesthetics of what we're gonna sell to our clothing. And I think so far it's just working really well.
I think time-wise, we can talk about this.
But yeah, well, before I'm done, I wanted to talk a little bit and get into depth about our NASH Panda brand, or line. Basically, Trafford, this is him. He loves drawing a lot. He has multiple sketchbooks where he just draws whatever he wants. A lot of the themes go around robots and animals. That's like he's obsessed with animals. He wants to work at the zoo and all this stuff. So animals is a lot of the. We don't have to. You guys want to watch?
We don't have time. You have to hit pause, and I think you have to go one more time.
Well, that's just a little video of him like creating. But basically, like I was mentioning, we just want to like show his process, show him as an artist. We don't want it to be seen as a charity thing that he has Down syndrome, how cute, he's gonna draw some stuff. We want to make him look like he's an artist. We're not, whatever he makes, we're gonna put it up there. He's gonna be treated like that's his creation, and he's gonna like sell his stuff without having to have the whole like thing, you know, which is really cool. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's kind of like a mindset change a little bit. But this project is been one of our like best projects. I think he sells way more than us a lot in the racks. But he does really cool stuff, and I collaborate with him a lot into like designing those designs to then screen print them and all that stuff. One of our biggest projects around NASH Panda was the collaboration we have with the Down Syndrome Association. Right? If you want to talk more, I mean, it's connected more to you than anything, you know?
I guess. Well, I'll really quick run by this fast because I know you guys probably have questions. But yeah. So this is our 3-2-1 fashion show. We do it in the collaboration of the Down Syndrome Association of Central Oklahoma. And basically what it is stemmed from a project that I explored in college, which was incorporating people with disabilities into design. And so we do a fashion show. There's 21 models. All of them have Down syndrome. It's representative of trisomy 21, which is like the technical term for Down syndrome. And yeah, it's at the Criterion. We're going on our 4th year of doing it. And each model, they get to keep all their looks, and they all had, like, everything is inspired by the model themselves. So it's very individualistic, tailored to their bodies because they're very different proportionate-wise than just anybody. And even we have a lot of parents that come back. They're like, please, can you make me more of those pants because they fit them so well. So that's been an awesome project. And in and of itself, I think we could take that in so many directions, aside from NASH. We go back and speak at our school sometimes, and they're like, I don't care about NASH. Tell me about NASH Panda. NASH Panda. Like, all the time. So, yeah.
But yeah, here's just a little picture of our socials, website, our contact. But yeah, pretty much it worked out. It's family business. You know, I had some background. Both my dad and my grandpa had restaurants and stuff, so I was kind of like in the entrepreneur like atmosphere for a while while I was growing up. So that's kind of how it worked out when we got together during COVID and decided to like put it together.
Do you guys have
So we'll open up for Q&A, and if you're in the back, feel free. There's like 5 seats up here if you want to come sit down. Again, if you want to be up by the tacos and coffee, I totally get. All right.
Just curious.
That's just for you'll just talk to it for the live stream.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to hear myself? Okay, well, darn. Love the sound of my own voice. Just curious, are either one of you wearing any product that you make today?
Yeah, I am.
You're wearing
I'm
a
wearing
t-shirt.
And this one for the stage crew graduation, basically. So this t-shirt we made, I wish I were wearing a full outfit.
I know we should have.
Yeah.
What are your sales now, and what percentage are retail versus internet?
Oof, it's definitely unbalanced. It's like almost 100% like foot traffic. So our retail spot is where all of our sales come from. We have random sales online. Like it was weird because at the beginning it was mainly online, and now I feel like it's like an 80-20, not even like 90-10. Like a lot of our revenue comes from like the store itself in Midtown.
Yeah, our goal for the next year is to focus more online because that's a whole entire like market that we aren't even. It's just mainly time. It isn't even, you know.
Yeah.
Just out of necessity, we just didn't have time to really focus on the internet stuff yet. But
I guess to explain a little more is what's hard about our website and to keep it up was the fact that we do a lot of one-of-a-kind pieces. And I was running into a lot of issues where I'll take the time to photograph, edit, do the whole thing to put it up on the website, and then that same day somebody bought it in the store. And then somebody else bought it in the online store, and it was supposed to be a one-of-a-kind piece, so we had to make two, but then we had to order the fabric that we made it with, so it created a whole problem where like our website now mainly has NASH panda stuff, kind of stuff that we like make multiples of, and some of like the scrap work that we also repeat. But that's kind of, like our mission now is to focus into the online sales now.
So you kind of just answered my question. So with focusing on online sales, before you mentioned that, in my brain, I was kind of wondering, like you have such a great story about how you started your local store and how you pivoted, and you kind of have this experience in learning about your customer and kind of not being scared to pivot your business for your customer. So have you looked at other markets, and do you guys have an interest in like opening a store in Tulsa or maybe like Santa Fe or somewhere else? I understand you're focusing on online, but I think it'd be cool to know if you guys have long-term plans for more storefronts.
Yeah, we do. We tested out Edmond downtown. There's a program through Citizens Bank where they do Rice. It's called Rice. And for 2 months, you get this space in the downtown, and we tried that out. Didn't work out, but we were open to the idea of maybe at some point opening something there. It's something that we constantly talk about. We definitely want it. It's just a matter of like when it's gonna come first. I think our main mission right now is to get our studio out and having a bigger, more comfortable studio first, and then we'll like grow into more stores probably. But yeah, it's something that we talk about a lot. Yeah.
I just had a question about like scaling up. Like if say a social media influencer like wears one of your amazing T-shirts, and you have 50,000 orders, like you're not drop shipping stuff, I assume, right? No. So what happens if someone on your website orders 50,000 T-shirts?
It blows up, yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot, and that's been the hardest thing is finding high quality sewists to sew with us. Right now we have one. So that's setting our limits and even kind of not focusing on the website. That's been strategic for us to be able to build up kind of like on the back end to where we could take like a 50,000 T-shirt order if we needed to. But yeah, it's been finding work and keeping it in-house. It's kind of been this moment where do we go with the manufacturer? Do we become our own manufacturer? We have done wholesale for other brands before. It's kind of been something we've played with. So we know that we can produce a lot. Like we're pretty efficient, but
yeah, we've done like 70 to 80 to 100 something batches of clothing at a time. We have done it. Now, if it reaches the thousands, like, that's where we'll be in a problem, like actually a problem. But like she said, we've been trying to steer away from the online on purpose just so we don't like have to deal with that yet. Like she said, it's really hard to find quality sewists. And the one time we tried manufacturing from somewhere else, it did not work out well. It was not to our standards. And I understand a lot of times if you're going into manufacturing, you have to be okay with letting go some of your quality. It's gonna go down, but it was definitely too much. It was way, way worse. So like, we pride in our quality. So it's kind of like a hard game to play right now with the whole online.
Have you guys done any like reselling through like other retailers or anything, like other boutique kind of retailers that have different collections?
Yeah, we tried it once.
Yeah, one time. It's about the percentages and about like giving a wholesale price. It's kind of hard right now since we make it all in-house, and kind of like deciding on what that wholesale price would be and making it cost effective for us. It's something we're open to, and eventually I would love to have NASH everywhere and have other people sell it too.
Have you actually turned a profit yet? And if you have, can you let us know how long it took you to get there?
Yeah,
Just
recently we actually made profit. So about 3 years.
Yeah, it took us about 2.5, 3 years.
2.5, 3 years, which is, I was surprised because when we started it in the fashion industry, it takes you up to 5 years to actually make profit because the way it works, the kind of like the problems that we've been having. But it's been 2.5 years and we're already seeing profit,
Yeah, really since we made that transition, that was whenever it like took off, and it took a lot of weight off of us and expanded our, yeah.
By the way, you guys did a great job, and I have so many questions. I'm very impressed. But my next question is on the Panda line. Are you selling that through your own business entity, or did you set up a separate nonprofit, or how did you do that?
No, it's NASH. So it's NASH, the brand sells it. It's like a line that we have at the store. So at the store we have the one-of-a-kind pieces, we have our basics, and then we have NASH Panda. And it's like the 3 lines that we sell, and accessories.
It's gotten to a point to where we've considered making it its own entity.
Yeah, the project is like way, way bigger than we talk about. It's like has way more lore behind it. And what we plan on doing with it, basically. So at some point, if we really can make NASH Panda its own entity, like in like a whole program that we talk about, that's kind of where we're like planning on doing. Just for the time being, we just have it as a line in the store.
Just because of time, the last question, and then we'll move on to our next speaker, is what can the community do for you? So if there are things specifically you're needing support with or help with, let us know what that is.
Okay.
I'd say coming into our store, for sure. Coming in, visiting our store, trying on our pieces. We always tell people if they're kind of skeptical, I'm like, just try it on, you're going to feel the difference. Our fabrics we really take pride in. And yeah, just coming and visiting, following.
Yeah, I feel like that's the main thing you guys could do, like maybe talking about it, visiting us and testing it out. Like we're going to show you, you're going to love it. It's really comfortable. They're like high quality pieces. They're kind of a little out there sometimes, but like, I don't take off my NASH a lot of times. I'm sorry. Like, it's really, really comfortable, really cool.
And if you guys know anybody who's really good at sewing, we're always looking for people to help out in the studio.
Sewing contacts will be perfect.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll have Tara come up here to get her laptop up and running. I do want to mention there are a number of other events happening this week with OKC Med Week. I believe this QR code on the sign goes to the website? Yeah. Okay, so it's okcmed.biz. We have workshops on generating revenue, on securing contracts. We have karaoke on Friday night. We have marketing, and I think, is there the marketing event also has headshots?
So on Friday, yes.
Oh.
Do a headshot when you're at the thing with Naoma.
Okay, awesome. So if you go to one of the workshops with Naoma, you can get a headshot. So if you've been needing that, that would be great. Also, I just want to note the cups that you see out over there, the silver ones, those are free. So feel free to grab one on your way out so that you can let other people know about 1 million cups. And then next month, we already have one presenter secured. There you are. We're, I think, securing our second speaker, but it's exciting that we'll have, if you're wanting to know more about how you can get your brands out there in marketing, you need to show up to the presentation next month for sure. So, all right, we'll now get into the holiday feeling because you guys know it's coming as much as we want to act like it's not. And we'll have Tara presenting Melanated Christmas.
Hello, everybody. my name is Tara Morgan. I'm the owner and founder of Melanated Christmas. I, like a lot of people, am a Christmas lover. I'm one of those people who get excited around July, and I want to start planning out what I'm going to do for the next season, how we're going to decorate, what events we're going to do as a family. That's just kind of my take on the holidays. So, like I was saying, it's the most wonderful time of year. And I enjoy family time, movies, game nights, shopping, decorating. Anything that comes with the holiday spirit, it's me. That's what I like to do. The idea of Melanated Christmas came about when I was out shopping. It was November of 2019, I was invited to a Christmas party, and the theme was themed sweaters. And I had in my mind that I wanted this big chocolate Santa on a sweater, and I was going to just go to the store and find it. That was my thought process. So I went out and I started shopping and shopping. I was like, okay, it's not in store, but surely I can find it online. Surely I can find it in Amazon. I'm going to find this sweater. And I kept searching, and the sweater wasn't anywhere to be found. And this is just in 2019. So I was like, okay, so I really want this sweater. Do I give up on this ideal of what I want to wear to this event, or can I go ahead and create it? And my coworker at the time, she was like, well, you know, there's this site where you can design your own shirt. Why don't you just go ahead and do it? So I was like, okay, cool. So there's a very popular sitcom in the African-American community called Martin. Has anybody seen it? Okay. So there's this one episode where Shanae, she gets into it with Martin, and Martin has all the kids throw snowballs at her. It's during the winter, so she comes upstairs. She's all upset. She's in a frenzy. She has a big old snowball in her hair, and she does her whole spiel, and at the end she goes, well, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and Feliz Navidad to all. So I was like, that's it. That's what I want to wear right there. So I had someone draw me a picture of her. I put the words on the sweater, and I wore it, and everybody was like, where'd you get it? Can I have it? Do you have another one? And I was like, okay, so maybe this is like a good idea. Maybe this is something that I can roll with. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just something comes over you when it's a good idea. And I was like, I'm taking it and I'm running with it. So like literally the next day I was like, I'm making my website, I'm putting this online, and I'm gonna sell this sweater. And I did that, and to my surprise, I sold probably about 20 sweaters. So I was like, oh, okay. So then COVID hit, so we're all locked up. And I'm like, okay, so this is a really good idea, but what if I just took all of this, and the Santa that I couldn't find, I create him, and I make a brand for Christmas items. So I got online, found a graphic designer, and I was like, this is what I want. This is him. We'll get up there. Oh, I probably should have went to the next slide. Sorry, everyone. The problem, I couldn't find it. And since we do have this slide up, I wanted to point out that it wasn't just in our shopping experiences. It was on the big screen when we go to the movies. I think at that time there was maybe one movie that made to the movie theaters that was like about an African-American family during the holiday season that we could relate to. And just, you know, all kind of experiences when it came to it. So during COVID, we're stuck in the house. Everybody's, you know, chilling. I'm like, I'm going to make this brand happen. So I got the graphic designer. I started building and, you know, writing my little notes, drawing, coming up with different designs. And I created this brand called Melanated Christmas. And I was like, okay, so you just have to step out on faith, Tara, and go ahead and, you know, put it out there for the world to see if it's even something that they want to experience. So I did. I created Christmas My Way. Sorry. And I created this luxury brand. So Melanated Christmas is not just a Christmas brand, but to me, it's a luxury brand. I don't want to just put items out there. I want them to be items of quality that people take pride in having, that they want in their home, that they want under their tree, that they want their kids to experience. It started off with just sweaters and wrapping paper, and I did everything through drop shipping. So I didn't have any manufacturers. I just had these ideas. I designed them, I put them on the store, and people would purchase them online. And the first year during COVID, it went crazy. Like, I was blown away by what I was able to do. I was in a 2-bedroom apartment, just trying to make the dream work, and people were buying like crazy. Mainly, I show a lot of the t-shirts in my Santa here, but the wrapping paper, it was the ticket. I found a great vendor, and they, the quality of paper is top-notch, unmatched, pure. It's pre-cut to fit the average size box, so you can, you don't have to worry about snipping all the way down. It's already ready for you. Just tie your box up. And I had a lot of customers. During this time, I think I was at probably about 300 to 400 customers during that time of year. And since then, just yesterday we launched our this season release, and I'll go into more detail about that. And I just reached my 1,000th customer, so I'm very excited about that. So, of course, it's not an untapped market. So, of course, when people start seeing things that are working, they're like, okay, that works. How do we get a part of it? But actually, during the time that I was creating Melanated Christmas, the first 3 brands, they were creating something similar because they saw the lack of representation also. So we all kind of came up around the same time. Difference is that they had knowledge that I didn't know, that there was help out there and you didn't have to try to create a brand on your own, and they got teamed up with some really great people, and now you can see them literally all over America in Walmart, Target, Dollar General, Macy's, JCPenney's. They're just everywhere. And then, of course, now the trend, Black Santa is in, and he's everywhere, literally. If you go to the store, you're going to see him. So I've tried to keep up with the competition. I've asked myself this: how do I keep up with the competition? Because here I am, just a lone person, literally funding my brand myself. Until recently, I just went through my first cohort with OMFA, and I did receive a grant through them that's helping with my marketing for this year, so I'm so excited about that. But how do I keep up, and how do I stay on task and not get discouraged, because now this untapped market is flourishing? And then I had to tell myself, okay, so Tara, Santa he wasn't born yesterday. He's been here for centuries. Christmas isn't going anywhere. It's the biggest business in the world. They make hundreds of billions of dollars every year. So how many Santas do you see that are different? Same nationality, but they're different. They're not all the same. So I was like, don't give up on your dreams. Stay the course and figure out your niche for your brand. So I started to think, what can I do to make sure that my brand stands out from the rest? And how do I make sure that not only African American children are represented during the holidays, all children are represented during the holidays? So it went back to the name that I came up with when I started Melanated Christmas, melanin. Melanin. What is melanin? Melanin is the pigmentation in our skin tones that gives us our darker and lighter complexion. So whether you're of African American descent or not, we all have melanin in our skin. So I was like, well, how about we look into all melanated cultures? And how about we expand the brand to not just reach one graphic of the world, but multiples. So this is something that we're in the works of doing, because I do have this idea that I don't just want to put things out there. I want them to be thought out and, strategically placed so that when it's out there, it's accepted by the audience that it's meant for. So, of course, we got through COVID, and I took a little slump because there was, now there's a growing demand for Santa and everything. So I went to the drawing board and I started planning what can I do to make sure that this brand takes on. So I expanded my team. because it's one thing for my mind to do things, and it's another for me to have other minds that help me make it make sense. From a business standpoint, I'm a creative, so I think of something and I'm ready to do it, whether it makes sense or not. And I had to get a team together to let me know that, okay, that may not be the best move for right now. And they've definitely helped me get to a better place in business. So I decided that we would be more than just a wrapping paper company and more than just a t-shirt company. I wanted to be a holiday brand where we sell not just Santa t-shirts and wrapping paper, but we're going to have this whole brand built around the holidays. So last year we introduced the Melanated Christmas Ball. It was a trial run, but it was a huge success. It's a beautiful, elegant ball where people come together to celebrate the holidays from a different point of view. So this year, our ball will be on December 16th. The theme of the ball this year is called Froville. We're doing a take on Whoville, the iconic Whoville, but we're going to do it from a African-American point of view. So big froze, big trees, and it's going to be a beautiful, elegant event. We would like for everyone to attend. It's crazy because the question I get most is it just for Black people? No. It's a holiday ball. It's for anyone who has the holiday spirit and wants to experience it from a different point of view. Yesterday, we launched our pajama line, which was a big deal for me because although Santa is in the market, there are very few companies who do offer pajamas with an African-American Santa on it. And that's how I reached my 1,000th customer yesterday, so I'm really excited about that. And we added other household luxury items, like these beautiful plush pillows. We offer, now we have a cream it coffee mug, we have a stuffed Santa toy, coloring books, and a few other items that we've added to the store this year. The plan for Melanated Christmas is, of course, to become the big name brand during the holiday season. So, of course, we kicked up our marketing campaign for this year. By next year, it's been my goal all year, and it will be until I make it happen, to be in a retail store. I think that's how we get the brand out across, multiple selling platforms. We also want to become more than just a Christmas brand. So we're looking to expand to other celebrations like birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, having representation during those times where there's holiday cards, gift wrap, bags, whatever people need during that time of season. And in a few years, we will be a multi-million-dollar business, I guarantee it. So that's my little spill on Melanated Christmas. As you can see, I put the QR code up there so that everyone can go to the website. You'll get to see our new pajamas and a few of our other items. We are doing a slow drop on our products, so we did release the pajamas and the cream it coffee mug, and throughout the month we're going to slowly drop the rest of our new products. That's pretty much Melanated Christmas for the most part. I'm open to any questions that you all may have.
Hey, my name's Andrew. Very, very impressed. This is awesome. Obvious question. What happens during the rest of the year outside of Christmas? And what is your team doing and working on?
For the last 2 years, we've just been prepping for what we're going to do next, the next holiday season. But like I said on there, we're expanding to try to become more than just a Christmas brand. So next year, we plan to release early next year our birthday celebration wrapping paper. So to just have different birthday cards and gift wrap and bags that have children of color on them, so that for purchase for birthdays and celebrations like that. And eventually we would like to add in other holidays as well.
I guess a comment based on, you said adding other holidays. I was also thinking just to the initial Shanae story. the more families we're seeing that have blended religions and blended families, I think that is really exciting when I see your brand because, for instance, I have sets of twins on my husband's side and on my side, and mixed race on one side. So I think to have little kids see themselves on different things will be more and more important as things continue. Also, I don't know locally if there's someone you could work with to maybe even do like a book, a Christmas book.
Okay, so I didn't say anything, but the book is definitely already in the works. So that is, there's so many possibilities. We have a lot of things that just haven't come to life yet.
I've already been on the website and I'm sending links to friends already. But I would love to see a tab for just the pajamas because I had to search pajamas to find the adult ones.
Okay.
So just like a UX kind of experience kind of thing. But I'm obsessed with this brand deeply. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
To piggyback kind of on what she said, more of a personal question on how you addressed your business as a Caucasian that was adopted by African American Muslims. Racism is an issue. So what have you personally, where is your mindset to overcome those and still be able to push your business forward? Because I think that in a lot of instances, that is the step that's forgotten.
It is. So we haven't gone without issues with racism since the beginning. We are an e-commerce store, so most of our marketing is done through social media. So comments in the comment tab we've had to basically monitor them heavily because a lot of people don't see the value in having a diversified Christmas holiday season. If it's not broke, don't fix it is basically the approach that they come with. But I think you just have to know why you're doing it. I had a godson that was born January of last year. He's never going to know Christmas without African American Santa, you know? And I think that's why it just motivates you to keep going. And that's why I think it was important for me to try to expand. During my cohort, I met one of my fellow cohorts. She is African American and she's married to an Irish man. And they have mixed, very bright-skinned children. And she even told me, she was like, okay, I love Chocolate Santa, but how do we get some light-skinned kids in here? Because I want my kids to feel like they see themselves too. And that, although that was always something in the back of my head, that pushed it to the front, like, okay, we have this now, how do we move forward to make sure that everyone's being seen, everyone's feeling like they're represented? So it's just the fact that knowing that the next generation, we're making it easier for the next generation if we keep going forward. And you just have to put your blinders on to some things and just be strong and know that what you're fighting for is for basically equality in this market. So just keep going. Yes, sir.
What has been the biggest surprise for you, both negative and positive, since starting the business, that you were just completely taken aback by?
The biggest surprise positively was when I reached 10,000 in sales, because I didn't think I could do it. I was like, what? You know, like, okay, so this can work. Let's get it. And that helped push me towards like, okay, let's get to the bigger numbers. Let's get it's out there. Let's get it. And I think the biggest surprise negatively is not finding the funding that I need. When I needed it. Before the ideal of this Santa became so big and everyone took with it, when it was just the idea, not being able to find the backing to be like, okay, this is what she needs to move forward and let's get behind her and go. So like literally this has been a passion project. I'm a first generation entrepreneur. I know that it's bigger than what most see or haven't yet to see. So it just, it was surprising to not get that backing up front. So that was probably the hardest.
Okay, I have a question. I told you I was gonna what should I ask? But I thought of one all on my own. From one accidental entrepreneur to another, from your story of just what you've created and built, what have been the things that surprised you? You're the creative person, but did you actually go oh, I'm actually really good at building a team, or the financial pieces, or what are those things that you actually really love and have been really good at?
So I said I'm a creative. It just was recently I literally designed my pajama line. I designed this creamy. I wish I had put it up there, but this coffee mug is one of a kind. I'm so proud of it. It comes with a little creamy cat and a spoon in it. It's not on the market. I've been searching everywhere to see if anybody has anything similar. But just seeing the designs come to life, I tell my friends all the time, man, I really started a brand. I really have this Christmas story. It's really, having life. People actually message me, look forward to this type of brand. So that's the biggest surprise takeaway that I get from it.
I have a comment and a question.
Okay.
One, I just appreciate you and this product and this passion project that you started. And I love that it's from the stance of being a luxury product, and MED Week, all of us Black and brown business owners can connect to our product being thought of as lesser value because of bias of, whatever. And so I really appreciate that. I can't wait to buy all the things and have my baby in chocolate pajamas. And the next thing is just with the holidays coming up and stuff like that, will you be at any of the holiday pop-up places? Is there anywhere that we can come and touch things and support you in person?
Yes, so I have already partnered with Spiked Coffee. We will be doing actually a series of pop-ups at the coffee shop this season. I've been invited to so many pop-up shops this year, you guys. It's just a matter of figuring out, which the main ones that they want me at are the Black Friday sales, and just trying to figure out their audiences. I've been asking a lot of questions to make sure that I'm in the right place to where people can come and shop. And then I've also partnered with the photographer studio, and they are wanting me to host my own pop-up shop later in December. So please follow me on social media. It's Melanated Christmas everywhere, and just be on the lookout for that. Also, another one of my cohorts, she has a salon in the mall, on Penn Square Mall. She's asked me to put product in that store, so it will be in the mall. So that's pretty cool.
So it sounds like Tara might need to ask for some holiday elves, maybe.
No, seriously.
Which I think for both of you, just know that's part of why this community exists. To get more exposure, and if there are help, I mean, I know I even have 2 high school students from Cristo Rey that work for us at The Verge, and they're always saying if you know of other jobs and other jobs, so. If you guys need people, I'm sure we can help find.
Yes.
So the last question is, how can this community help Melanated Christmas?
I'm actually happy you said that, because this is the first year that I'm not drop shipping. I have manufacturers and I have my own product in our little storage warehouse, and we're shipping. So just help figuring out, how, because I already can tell now. I'm not overwhelmed, but I can tell that this is my biggest season yet with these new drops. So just maybe knowledge on getting the products out, or help distributing the products to my customers. Yes.
Well, just because of time, the speakers will still be around, so please talk to our speakers while they're still here. Grab a cup, grab a taco to go. We'll probably start to have to reorganize this space for Dunlap in a second. So if you see things being pushed around, either feel free to help or just scooch. But please go to more OKC Midweek events. We have a lot of great things happening, as I mentioned. We'll be back here for 1 Million Cups next month on the second Wednesday. And thank you to Tara, Juan, and oh my gosh, I just forgot your name. Tamara, Juan, and Tara for presenting today. So big thank you to them.
I only bought 2 of these.